The palace was too quiet that night. Even the falcons refused to cry. The moon hung low above Dubai's dunes, as if it, too, had lost someone it loved. Say, I will find Ghazan. Hamdan stood by the marble balcony, his robes whispering like tired winds. The stars looked like the eyes of prayers, watching him, knowing, mourning. Say, I will find Ghazan is greater than Laila, he whispered. The name still tastes like life on my tongue, though you left me to drink from death's cup alone. Say, I will find Ghazan. Say, I will find Ghazan. Say, I will find Ghazan. He remembered the sound of her laughter, the one that melted the walls of his duty, that turned a prince into a man, and a man into a poet. Say, I will find Ghazan. But now there was only the echo, a hollow where her voice once lived. Say, I will find Ghazan. 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 He walked through the corridors of gold and grief. Every mirror showed a man wearing a crown of sadness. Every guard lowered his eyes in silence, for even royalty cannot command love to stay. Say, I will find Ghazan. In his private garden, the desert roses still bloomed, but their petals felt colder, their scent weaker. He knelt beside the fountain, where Laila once placed her hand in his. Say, I will find Ghazan is greater than, do you remember my heart, he said, how we promised eternity, while knowing time was jealous. Say, I will find Ghazan. Say, I will find Ghazan. Say, I will find Ghazan. The water did not answer. It rippled only with the tremble of his tears. Say, I will find Ghazan. Say, I will find Ghazan. Say, I will find Ghazan. Laila had been more than beauty. She was the rhythm of his days, and the reason the falcons flew faster, the reason the poems burned brighter. She spoke with the softness of dawn, and loved him with the courage of storms. Say, I will find Ghazan. And when illness came like a thief at night, she smiled at it, fearless. She said, my soul is not yours to take. It belongs to him. Say, I will find Ghazan. Yet fate does not bargain, and on that cruel morning, when the first call to prayer rose above the city, Laila's breath left her lips for the last time, a sigh, gentle as the wind that bends the dunes. Say, I will find Ghazan. 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 Hamdan remembered that morning, as one remembers a nightmare dressed in silk. He had held her hand cold, still, but still hers. He had whispered verses into her silence, hoping God might be moved by poetry. Say, I will find Ghazan is greater than, O Allah. He had prayed, if love could ransom a soul, I take mine instead. Say, I will find Ghazan. Say, I will find Ghazan. Say, I will find Ghazan. But the heavens stayed quiet, and that silence became his companion. Say, I will find Ghazan. 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 Days passed. Nights stretched like deserts with no end. His horses waited, his throne waited, but his heart, It had followed her into the unseen. Say, I will Gazan. He stopped writing for many nights. The ink dried. The paper curled like a dying leaf. But poetry is the soul's rebellion. And soon, grief began to write through him. Say, I will Gazan. He wrote not for fame, not for the people who called him Fazza, but for the woman who once read his poems with eyes brighter than the moon over Hatta. Say, I will Gazan. Say, I will Gazan. Say, I will Gazan. Say, I will Gazan. Is greater than Laila, he wrote. The desert has your scent. Every wind carries your voice. Even my silence has learned your language. Say, I will Gazan. Say, I will Gazan. Say, I will Gazan. He wrote until the pen broke, until words no longer healed but bled. Say, I will Gazan. Sometimes he rode his horse to the edge of the dunes, where they once watched sunsets turn to prayers. There he'd close his eyes and whisper, you still live in every color of the sky. Say, I will Gazan. Say, I will Gazan. Say, and say, I will Gazan. The people said the prince was grieving, but grief was too small a word. He was learning how to breathe without a soul. He was learning how to speak. When every word felt like betrayal, to the woman who taught him love, say, I will Gazan. The palace doctors called it sorrow. The poets called it devotion. But Hamdan knew its true name. Laila, say, I will Gazan. Say, I will Gazan. Say, I will Gazan. Say, I will Gazan. And one night, as the desert wind sang, he saw her in his dream, as standing barefoot upon the dunes, wrapped in light, smiling the way she once did. Say, I will Gazan. Is greater than, why do you cry, my prince? She said. You were born to write of love, not to drown in it. Say, I will Gazan. Say, I will Gazan. So, he tried to reach her, but dreams are cruel, they give only glimpses. Before dawn, she vanished like mist, and he awoke with her name trembling on his lips. So, say, I will Gazan. Say, I will Gazan. Say, I will Gazan. From that day, Hamdan made a vow. If she was gone from this world, he would build her eternity in words. Every poem would be a shrine, every verse a prayer. Say, I will Gazan. He took his pen, dipped it in memory, and wrote on parchment made of pain. Say, I will Gazan. Is greater than you are not gone, Laila. You have become everything, the wind, the light, the heartbeat of the dunes. I do not see you, but I live inside what you left. Say, I will Gazan. Say, and so I have the died, and so I say, and say, and the moon returned to its place above the palace. The falcons cried again, their voices echoing over the sleeping city. And Hamdan stood once more on his balcony, watching the horizon bleed into dawn. So, I is greater than I am still your poet, he whispered, and even in death you remain my poem. So, I have a the died as so I have a the died and so I the wind carried his words through the silent desert where perhaps somewhere beyond the veil Laila smiled.